Hello everyone. So let's discuss the last problem of today's weekly contest, longest substring of one repeating character. The problem is we are given a string and we are given some queries. The queries are at index 1 replace it with B. Similarly at index 3 replace it with C. Now what we have to do is we have to return the largest substring of consecutive characters after every query. So let's try to understand this with an example. So let's say this is the initial array and these are the queries that we have given. Now, after performing the first query, basically replace the fifth character with D, then we can see we have some substrings of length 1 and then we have a substring of length 2. So largest is 2, so answer after this query will be 2. Now let's say we perform this 1 comma b, we replaced we replaced this character with b. After performing this query, we have a substring of length 3 here, and we have couple of substrings of length 1, and then we have a substring of length 2. So the largest substring is 3, so answer will be 3. Next query is replace 9 with b. So if we replace 9 with b, we can see there is a substring of length 4 that is formed, and there is a substring of length 3. The largest is 4 obviously, so the answer after this would be 4. The last query, 4 replace fourth character with a, so we replaced this fourth character from c to a. After this also the largest is still uh, of length 4, so the answer will be 4. Now how to solve this? So first of all, let's just try to simulate whatever we are given. So we are given that okay, we will replace a character. So after replacing a character, what can happen? Either two substrings will be merged, or a string will be split into two strings. So with that note, let's say that this is the range for the for this array. So basically, we have just accumulated this in a range. So 0 to b, 0 from index 0 to 2, there is character b, so hence 0 comma 2 comma b. From index 8 to 11, there is character b, so hence 8 to 11 b. Now after this, let's try to go from here. Like let's try to calculate this same array for this string after performing this replacing fourth character with a. So if we perform this, we will like these two will be merged into a single range, which is 3 comma 4 comma a. Now if we can do this efficiently, then we are done, right? So but there are a lot of edge cases that we will need to handle if we just try to merge this naively. So let's look at some of the cases. So there can be cases where a larger string is split into smaller string. So basically we replace this character with something that is not related to left and right. In that case, this large string of length 10 will be splitted into two strings of length 4 and 5 and one string of length 1. Similarly, there can be queries where we replace something such that it just extends the previous substring, the next substring by 1. There can be cases where we replace something and it just extend the previous substring by 1. And there can be cases where we replace something because of which the entire this entire segment is merged into a single substring. So we need to handle all these cases explicitly. It will be tedious. So instead of handling all these cases explicitly, what we can do is, let's say there is a query, replace this b with a. So previously we are just trying to merge it with the left and the left or the right, right? But Now we will say that this A is completely a new range in itself. Now, because this A is completely a new range in itself, we can try merging it with left and then try merging it with right. So, for example, initially the range was 0 to 3. So, 0 to 3 we have A, and then from 4 to basically 13 we have B, and then from 14 to 17 we have C. Now, if we replace this character with A, we will what we will do is we will say 0 to 3 is still same. There is a new string 4 comma 4 which is formed after doing this operation, and the we will split the next string, and this will stay as it is. Now, after we have this, now we will try to merge these two first. If they are mergeable, in this case yes, because 0 comma 3 everything is A, and then 4 comma 4 is also A. So we will just merge these two into a single string 0 comma 4, and then we will try to merge this 0 comma 4 with 5 comma 13. In this case they are not mergeable because from 0 to 4 there is A, and from 5 onwards there is B, so we can't merge it. So the final range would be 0 comma 4 and 5 comma 13. So if we do this, we don't need to handle all the cases that we have seen previously one by one, because all these cases will be covered here, because we are first merging it from left and then we are merging from the right. So let's try to look at the pseudocode. So we will first prepare the list of colored ranges, then we will prepare the list of all the lengths. So for example, in this case we will say okay, from 0 to 0 there is B, so in this tuple, then from 10 to 11 it is B. So hence this is this tuple. Now once we prepare this list of color ranges, we will also prepare the list of lengths. So length is basically the length of substrings. So first substring is of length 1, so 1, then 1 1 1, and then 3, so 4 ones and then 3. Similarly, after this all as well. Now after we prepare these two things, uh, we will, for each query we will split the range by split point as discussed. So if the query is that change it to something else, we will split it, and then we will take this as a new segment, and then we will find the previous and the next range, basically this one and this one, and then try to merge the previous with current, merge these two if they are mergeable, and with the result try to merge the next range. So if they are mergeable, there is a one range. With this range, we will try to merge next. If they are not mergeable, then there is only one range. Like previous is separated, so we will just try to merge these two. So let's try to understand this with an example. So, so this is our initial range that we have prepared previously, and along with this we are also maintaining the list of uh, lengths of substring. Now let's say we got the first query, replace fifth character with D. So we replace the fifth character with D. What we will do is we will first see where fifth is, where in this list where fifth occurs. So 5 will occur here. Now we will, as discussed, we will keep 5 separate altogether. So we will just keep 5 comma 5 with D, and after this we will split the previous range. So 4 and 4 is left in the left, and in the right side 6 is left, so 6 comma 6 and C. Now after the split we will try to merge the left and right. So in this case From 4 to 4 it is C, and then from 5 it is D. Where C is not equal to D, so we can't merge it. So these two can't be merged. Now we will try to merge these two. So 5 to 5 is D and 6 to 6 is C. Again, D is not equal to C, so we can't merge these two. So after performing this, the updated array will have all the three. Okay, so this will be D. Now after this, uh, we notice that we also updated the length array as we are doing this. Once we have done this, let's say the second query is 1 comma b. Mm, so 1, we replace 1 with b, and okay, and previous, like for this query the answer will be just the maximum in this list, which is 2. So answer after this query is 2. Now let's say we replace 1 with b, so a is replaced with b. So what will happen, like we will do the same thing, we will just separate this 1 comma 1 altogether, which is, it is already separated. So the new range will be 0 comma 0 b, 1 comma 1 b, and 2 comma 2 b. Now these three are the new ranges, like this is the previous one, this is the next one, and this is the current range. Now as discussed, we will try to merge from the left. So 0 comma 0 and 1 comma 1 both are b, so this can be merged. So we will merge these two into one range. The range will be 0 comma 1 comma b. Now after this is merged, we will try to merge from the right. So 0 comma 1 is b, 2 comma 2 is also b. So we will merge these two, and we will get 0 comma 2 comma b, right? So that's what the new range is. And notice again, we updated, as and when we are updating the original list, we are also updating the length array. So now again answer will be just the maximum among this array, which is 3. Let's look at the next query, replace 9 with b. So ninth character is this. So when we replace this with b, we will do the same thing. We will separate out 9, as 9 is already separated. So we will just replace d with b. Now we will have 8 comma 8 in left, and we have this 10 comma 11 in right. Now we will try to merge from the left. 8 comma 8 is b, 9 comma 9 is also b, so this is mergeable. So we can merge this and form a new range, 8 comma 9 comma b. Now we will try to merge from the right. So these two, 8 comma 9 is b and 10 comma 11 is also b, so these two are again mergeable, and the new range will be 8 comma 11 comma b. And similarly we will update the length as well, so length will be updated to 4. So after this, the answer will be the maximum of this array, which is 4. Now let's execute the last one. 4, replace 4 with a. So if we replace 4 with a, what we'll get is, uh, we will have left as 3 comma 3 comma a from previous. We will have 4 comma 4 as a, and the right part we have 5 comma 5. This is d. This is d. And from the right part we have 5 comma 5 and d. Okay, so we will try to merge from the left. These two are mergeable, so we will merge these two and form a new 3 comma 4 and a. Then we will try to merge this 3 comma 4 with 5 comma 5, but a and d are not equal, so they are not mergeable. So we will just copy back 5 comma 5, and we have updated the length as well. Now after doing this, the max of this array is 4, so we will just output 4. So hope the approach is clear. Now coming to how we will implement it. So if you have noticed, we have to, like, this preparing this range is very simple. We just need to iterate over the array once. Similarly, preparing this range initially is simple. Now for splitting the range by split point, we need to first find out where the split point lies. So in this case, we have find out that okay, split point is here, like 5 lies here. So to do this efficiently, we can see if we sort by L. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. If we sort by L, then we can do binary search and then find this point very efficiently. After finding this point, we have to just find the previous and the next, which is again simple operations. Uh, and then we will try to merge these two. So merging part we have already discussed. We will just see whether the characters are equal. If characters are equal, we will merge it. Otherwise, we will not merge it. So let's look at the code for this as well. So we have like we have prepared a sequence struct. It has character, left, right, and the length of the string. So basically this tuple is sequence, and along with this tuple I have also stored one more thing, which is the length, which is 1. So let's say we have this sequence, and this sequence is sorted by the left endpoint as discussed. So we have to sort this with the starting point of every ranges. Now once we have this sequence, let's look at the solution. So first we'll prepare the initial array as discussed, right? So we this all is the initial list 0 comma 0 b 1 comma 1, and the length is the length of the every substring. So because one length can appear multiple times, so that's why we have taken a multi-set instead of a set. Now computing this substring is very simple. We just see what is the current character. We will continue when until the correct character is matched, and once we have either reached the end of the string or current character is not equals to the next character, we will stop, and then we will prepare a sequence. Basically there is a character current which starts from here and end at here. So this is the sequence, and length is basically j minus start plus 1. Once we have calculated this, the rest is very simple. So for each query, we find QC and QI. We will split and replace the QI, the QI point as discussed. Like we will first split it, so like this, and then we will try to merge. So we will first split the entire thing. After splitting the entire thing, we will find out the current position. So this is just a we are doing a binary search lower bound on the set, and because the character and the end point is not doesn't matter because we are sorting by only the left endpoint. So character and right endpoint I placed a dummy value. This is the left. This is one which we care about, the left endpoint. Once we get here, we will find out the previous and the next. So previous and the next may or may not exist. So if this is the range, then previous may not exist, and similarly if this is the range, next may not exist. So that's why this check is there. If it is not although begin, it is not the first element, then previous is this, and similarly if it is not the last element, then next is this. Now once we have this, this is our initial sequence, previous, current, and next, and we just need to merge one by one. So we will try merging previous to current, and then whatever is the result, we will try merging that to next. So initially we have previous. Now we will try to merge current, next, one by one. So from j to 1 to initial sequence size, what we are doing is we are checking if they are mergeable. If the last part of this merged sequence is mergeable with the current sequence. If they are mergeable, I am removing the last part and pushing back the merged sequence. And if they are not mergeable, I am just pushing the new sequence. So after this, all the initial sequences that was there, I am removing this from the both all and lengths, and then whatever is the merged sequence we got, I am just inserting it to both all and length. And after doing all this, I am pushing, like, answer will be just the last element of this multi-set, because multi-set is sorted already. So now after this, rest of the pieces are very simple. So when we are inserting, we are just sticking. So this dollar is a dummy character, because as discussed, previous and next may or may not exist. So if there doesn't exist, I am replacing it with dollar. So dollar, if it is dollar, we will not insert it. Otherwise, we will just insert it into all, and we will insert the lengths. We'll insert its length into lengths. Now removing is also same. If the character is dollar, we will not do anything. Otherwise, we will replay, like, remove this from the sequence, and we will also erase this its length. So notice we can't do sequence dot length directly here, because in multiset, if we, like, this length can occur more than one time, and if we do that, it will erase all of the values. So that's why this dot find is important. After removing, uh, this is split and replace function. So we are first finding out the sequence. So with after finding the sequence, we are removing the current one, and then we are just calculating the left, right, and the current. So basically what we are doing, if this is, let's say this is the sequence, and we want to replace this character. So in this case, what we will do, we will make this character as one sequence, this character as the left part, and this as the right part. So that's what we have done. We have basically current dot left and the split point minus 1 until this is the left part. From split point plus 1 to current dot right, it's the right part. And from split point to split point, it is one single part, which is new current. And then uh, I am inserting all of them to all and lengths. So now you might be wondering why this check is required. This check is required when, let's say, this range that we got is only of length 1. So for example, uh, if let's say they have said that, okay, I want to replace this character, or maybe if they said that I want to replace this character with a. So because this range has only one character in it, so if we do minus 1 and plus 1, we will got nothing, right? So that's why we are just checking whether it is a valid range or not. If it is a valid range, I am inserting it. Once then is mergeable. So two sequence is mergeable if and only if their characters are equal. If not equal, they can't be merged. And two sequences are mergeable only when the right of the left sequence plus 1 is equals to the, like, the ending point of the previous sequence and the starting point of the next sequence are in front of each other. So basically 0 comma let's take this example. 0 comma 0 is b, and 2 comma 2 is also b, but because they are b, they can't be merged. There needs to be one more condition, that they should be adjacent. So that's why we are checking this. And the last function that we have used is merge. So basically merge the left and the right sequence. Merging is very simple. We have already, like, I am assuming that we have already determined that these two sequences can be merged. So if they can be merged, the merged part will be left sequence dot left and right sequence dot right. This is the range of the merged part, and the character will be left sequence dot ch. So hope this is clear. So just to reiterate what we have done, we have first find out the initial lengths and all the sequences. Then we have splitted across the split point. After splitting, we find the previous and the next. Once we have previous and the next, we just try to merge everything from left to right, and then remove the previous and insert the next. So hope this solution is clear. There is one more solution to this problem, which is using segment trees. If you're interested, I can discuss that as well. Otherwise, that's it for this problem. If anything is unclear, please comment below. Thank you.